Fox Sports.
We are Fox. We are Detroit.
Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by
Bell Tire.
Welcome to the Motor City's unofficial holiday. It's opening day 2016, the 116th home opener in the illustrious baseball history of Detroit. It's a little bit brisk out there today, but that's all right. We've got baseball, game one in the series featuring the New York Yankees and the Detroit Tigers. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pemba alongside Rod Allen, Kirk Gibson in a moment. Great day for baseball here in the Motor City, regardless of the temperatures. Rod, you've been through a few of these.
You know, this is my 15th opening day here in Detroit, 14 as a broadcaster, 1 as a player, Mario, and it never gets old. You drive to the ballpark in the morning, people are out tailgating, and then you've got 50,000 people inside here cheering. You just learn to really appreciate these days. You don't know how many more you're going to get, so you just take it all in and you just enjoy it. And then when the Yankees are in town, that makes it even more special.
All right, let's send it down to the field and join the third member of our broadcast crew today, Kirk Gibson, who just threw out the first pitch of the ball game. Gibby, what's the atmosphere like down there?
Well, it's a great atmosphere. I was out there in the field. I got a little hyped up, threw one into the ground, but it's the honeymoon's over. Now it's time to get after it. We all stick together. We look for that chemistry, come together by the end of the year, get into the playoffs, and be world champions at the end of 2016.
All right, Gibby, get back up into the booth. You got some work to do. The Tigers trying to win their 8th consecutive opening day in Detroit. We'll see if it happens. Hopefully so. The Tigers and Yankees coming up. But right now we send you back to the Call Sam Studios in Mickey York. Certainly happy to have all of you here this afternoon. The Tigers and the New York Yankees getting set to do battle here on opening day in the Motor City. The Tigers, of course, coming home after winning 2 games in Miami against the Miami Marlins. Today's starter is Jordan Zimmermann, the newcomer. He is presented by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Well, Tigers signed Jordan to a free agent contract in the offseason. You take a peek at his numbers from a season ago in Washington. In 33 starts, 13-10 with a 3.66. Fastball 93 to 95. Real good slider to the left-handers. Working on a changeup, and he has a good curveball to go along with them.
Yankee starting lineup presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Ellsbury, Gardner, and Castro at the top. Castro off to a red-hot start. Teixeira, Ackley, and Headley in the middle of their lineup. Gregorius, Hicks, and Austin Romine rounding it out for Joe Girardi and the New York Yankees. Yankees at 2-1, the Tigers at 2-0. Both of these clubs off to a nice start this year as Jordan Zimmermann gets set to go to work. And here we go. The first pitch of the ball game is a strike called on Jacoby Ellsbury.
That is nothing new for Jordan Zimmermann. He will fill that strike zone up with a lot of quality pitches this afternoon. Very seldom does he walk batters.
Here's the 0-1 pitch on the way, and Zimmermann misses low and away. 1 ball and 1 strike on the leadoff man, Ellsbury.
Also, one way to slow this Yankees team down, which is off to a really good offensive start. Keep Ellsbury and Gardner, the number 2 hitter, off the bases.
Typically, the cold weather will slow down the bats early in the season, but that was not the case with the Yankees.
Well, they scored, what, 16 runs one game? They scored 8 runs yesterday.
1 ball and 2 strikes. And it misses high, even up the count now at 2-2 on Ellsbury.
And there's no doubt Zimmermann has pitched in some big games. He's pitched well down in Washington, but he's never really pitched in front of a crowd like the crowd that he's pitching in front of today on opening day. You know he's extra hyped out there this afternoon.
Zimmermann last year with the Washington Nationals was 13-10, an ERA of 3.66.
He threw over 200 innings last year, too, for the very first time in his major league career.
Made a couple of all-star teams with the Nationals in 13 and 14. And again, the 2-2 on the way. Lifted in the air, but foul down the third base line. Castellanos giving chase, but it's back out of play. Fans still settling in here on opening day. A little bit of a breeze blowing out toward left center field, but the Tigers always enjoy a huge party here on opening day, and the fans, well, they're always ready to go.
It's a good day today, huh?
How was that first pitch, Gibby?
Oh,
it looked good.
I know, Rod. Give me your credit.
You did well. You did well. You did
a perfect
good.
one-hop strike.
You did good. Brad Osmus helped you out.
Yeah. Felt it when the elbow went back, got tight.
Little pop-up back at third. Castellanos going back. Nice play and foul ground. Wow, what a play by Castellanos.
This is one of your more difficult plays for your corner infielders. When the first baseman's going back and also the third baseman, Castellanos showing some nice range here.
You know what? Those balls do come back, too. He ran right to the spot, Rod. If you don't run right to that spot, they practice those every day in batting practice.
And something else he did in the offseason, he got in a little bit better shape, a little bit more athletic. He's playing on the balls of his feet, and he's always anticipating that ball being hit to him. Nice job by Nick.
Good improvement there.
Here is Brett Gardner now with one out. Gardner off to a 1-for-7 start this year for the Yankees, who took 2 out of 3 from the Astros to begin their 2016 season.
And Gardner made an all-star team last year. Had a really good first half, but really stumbled down the stretch. And the Yankees are looking for more consistency from Brett this season.
The Yankees do have a little bit of speed at the top of their lineup with Ellsbury and Gardner. They're usually used to giving their teams at least 20 stolen bases or more a year. There's Joe Girardi in his 9th season now as the Yankees skipper. He's put up some good numbers. Missing high. 2-1.
You talk about the stolen base attempts around the league. It's much harder to steal bases now in the game than it used to be. Pitchers pay much more attention to you. Way quicker to the plate. Catchers throw better. It's just a much more refined art part of the game.
So what you're saying is you doubt you'll ever see another guy steal 100 this season?
I don't see it. Do you, Rod?
No, I don't see anybody stealing 100 bases anymore.
3-2 now on Brett Gardner. Just underway here at the ballpark. The Tigers and Yanks in the first of 3 this weekend. There is Starlin Castro waiting on deck, and boy, is he off to a monster start.
Set a record.
3-2. And now given time is Gardner, as Jordan Zimmerman took too long. Zimmerman is a native of Auburndale, Wisconsin, so the chilly temps will not bother him, as evidenced by the lack of sleeves today. And that misses low and in. It's a base on balls.
Let's take a look at the Tigers starting defense. As always, it is presented by Beaumont Health. Left to right in the outfield, you've got Upton, you've got Ghost, you've got J.D. Martinez. In the infield, Castellanos, Iglesias, Kinsler, the big fella, Miguel Cabrera, and James McCann, second-year catcher, behind the dish.
You know, Rod, folks are a little bit worried about Justin Upton's defense in spring training. He scuffled a bit, but boy, that series he had in Miami was awfully good.
He made some really nice plays, and because he made those plays, Tigers were able to win a couple of games down in South Beach.
Yeah, that could the game ended up getting tied there late in that first game, and then Justin made the great play going into the fence. That's very tough, going into that fence like that, not bailing out on it. Preserved the tie. Tigers went on to win it.
Starlin Castro is up there with 1 on, 1 out. Broken bat back up the middle. Iglesias flips to Kinsler, 1, and that is a double play. 6-4-3 to end the inning. And we'll see if Joe Girardi wants to take another look at it down at first base. He has his TV crew right now checking it out to see if they want to challenge. And Girardi has said nope. He was out at first base. Good start for the Tigers. We go to the bottom of the first inning on opening day. Still scoreless. Bottom of the first inning, Ian Kinsler getting set to start things off for the Tigers. Their lineup presented by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. It'll be Kinsler, Upton, Cabrera in the top 3 spots in the lineup. Victor Martinez, your DH today, and Victor, of course, had those 2 pinch hit homers in Miami. JD to follow, then Castellanos to the bottom 3 of McCann, Iglesias, and Ghosts. They are facing the young, talented Luis Severino.
Only 11 big league starts underneath his belt, but you wouldn't know it by the poise that this young man shows on the mound. He's got plus stuff. Fastball in the mid-90s. He averages it in the mid-90s. Here's the scouting report, MGM scouting report on Severino. He's got an electric slider, really good slider. You talk about risky business. Does not give up a lot of hits when there's runners on base, and he's also very young, just 22 years old, 48 days.
Throws all of his pitches hard too. Slider's hard, one of the hardest in the league. Changeup is hard as well.
Ian Kinsler had a nice start to 2016 with a big series against the Marlins. Was 5 for 11 with a home run.
It's a great point, Gibby. His slider at 89, 90 miles an hour, as is his changeup.
That slice to right field. It's down. It's extra bases. To the corner it goes. Kinsler is on his way to second, and he'll pull in with a leadoff double. It's a good way to get it started.
One of the things the Tigers do as well as any club in baseball, when guys throw hard and guys keep the ball away from you, they take the proper path to get to the baseball. Look at how long the barrel of the bat stays in the strike zone for Ian Kinsler, and that's picture perfect at how you drive the ball the opposite way.
Yeah, not trying to pull it, always better. You try to pull, the swing gets long.
Question for you now, Kurt. I mean, in this particular situation, it's the first inning, you got a runner on second base. Going to right field is not necessarily the MO of Upton, but what does he do? Does he try to drive him in with a base hit that way, or is he just swing the bat away?
I think he's just thinking middle. You know, Jay Up, you talk about the Tigers. They hit fastballs 93 mile an hour plus very well. Justin Upton's one of these guys. You definitely want to get him over there. I think more middle of the field. You don't want to give yourself up, though. He's a darn good hitter. He's got a lot of pop. You still want to try and drive the ball in the gaps.
This is how they play Upton defensively. Here's the 0-1. Chasing again out of the zone, 0-2 on Upton.
Well, you can't catch up to that cheese at 95 up around the letters, especially against a guy like Severino. His ball has another gear, and once it gets into that hitting zone, it just kind of takes off.
Yeah, it explodes. Above the zone is not where you want to offer at that.
Here's the 0-2. He got him. Strike 3 call.
Oh, my goodness. He ain't messing around.
Heater, and it painted the corner
at 97.
You know, he's thinking, J-Up's got to be thinking, I got to stay off that high fastball. He just threw 2 of them by me. Got to stay off, got to be disciplined. What does he do? Comes right back with the 4-seamer, right on the outside part of the plate, down in the zone. Thank you. Good night. See you next at bat.
He didn't waste a pitch.
No, he did not.
Here's Miguel Cabrera.
Did you ever find yourself trying to thinking, he's going to throw me another high fastball here, and then you end up blocking up?
Absolutely.
Miggy shoots one foul, back out of play, 0-1.
We told you that Severino, for the most part, when he does throw a fastball, just about from inning 1 until the time he is out there, is in the mid-90s. Last year, 5th as far as the average velocity thrown on fastballs was Severino.
Pretty impressive.
And he's working on his cutters. His 4th best pitch. Doesn't have a lot of spin on it yet, but if he gets that, he'll be even tougher.
0-2 on Cabrera.
Being taught by one of the best, Larry Rothschild.
Yeah, he's been good for a long time. He's had some stops in Florida. He had a managerial stint in Tampa, in Chicago as a pitching coach. Now he's been in New York for a minute now.
Severino with the 0-2. And again pounded back out of play. Well, Miguel Cabrera picked up an RBI in game 1 in Miami. He is trying to get it going. He is 3 for 9 so far in the season, and there's a good sign. Victor Martinez is waiting on deck. He's actually going to be able to play today with the DH.
Well, he's made the most of his opportunities so far in this young season.
You think?
It's a great start for Victor.
1 ball and 2 strikes. They will appeal. Miggy remains the only player in all of baseball that asks for the appeal himself, actually.
I noticed that.
Instead of the catcher.
got a little respect around the league from the umpires. Maybe get a marginal call in his favor.
Leadoff double by Kinsler, still standing at second base. 1 out, just underway here at Comerica.
Digging in for those signs. Must be trying to trick him.
And the 1-2. Level the count now, 2-2 on Miguel Cabrera.
That was one of the old tales when they keep looking, going around the signs. You'd think when he just goes quickly, it would be the fastball. I think with his electric stuff that most catchers would not throw down a lot of off-speed pitches early in the game. They all want to establish that heater.
So Cabrera continues to battle here against Severino, who, as we mentioned, is only 22 years of age. Really not a whole lot more to prove in the minor leagues. And once he got to the big leagues last year, he proved that he might be one of those kids that's going to stick around a while.
Got to stay healthy. Got to get your innings count up. Long season.
Slice to right field, base hit. Kinsler to third. They're going to send him home. Hicks's throw from right is not in time. Safe at home plate is Ian Kinsler.
Severino has seen a lot of really good hitters since he's been in the movies in his 11 starts, but he's never seen anybody the caliber of a Miguel Cabrera. He just tried to overpower Miggy with fastball after fastball. Finally throws a slide piece up there. Miggy laces it to right field, and Ian Kinsler got a good break, and he needed to do so. Hicks in right field has a tremendous throwing arm, and he made this play awfully close.
You had noticed earlier in the at-bat, Miggy fouled the balls into the stands on the heater on time with the slider.
So a nice start for the ball club as they run out to a 1-0 lead, and now Victor Martinez will step in. Here are the numbers last year on Victor: 245, 11 home runs. He'll shoot one right at Castro at second base, who falls to the seat of his pants.
Let's take a look at the New York Yankees starting defense, and it is brought to you by Tim Hortons. They've got a really good athletic outfield in Gardner, Ellsbury, and Hicks. As a matter of fact, Ellsbury with a Gold Glove in 2011. Young up the middle with Gregorius and Castro. Headley, Ackley on the corners, and Romine is the catcher.
Aaron Hicks out in right field today, the former Minnesota Twin. A very high prospect for the Twins. He just never seemed to pan out in Minnesota. There's a strike on the inside part of the plate to J.D. Martinez. J.D. was 3 for 8 with a double in that series against the Marlins.
They got some information. Look at the shift right there, shifting to the left side of the diamond. That wasn't done just a couple of years ago. Now you see it many games.
And it was done against left-handers, but we see it more and more against really good right-handed hitters with power nowadays.
So the question would be, as a hitter, do you try and hit that hole, or do you try and do what you do best, and that's drive the ball out of the ballpark into the gaps?
I think in this particular situation, J.D. Martinez is trying to find a gap. There was a runner on second base, and they chose to apply this type of shift. Then you try to shoot that hole through the right side.
Absolutely. Take what they give you.
J.D. hit the ball hard down in Miami. And it didn't have a whole lot to show for it, but he hit the ball extremely hard in that 2-game series against the Marlins.
It seemed, Rod, like he hit a couple of balls that the wind knocked down that had a chance to go. They got all the way to the wall but died there. And down goes Martinez swinging to end the inning. Good start for the Tigers, though. They get a run on a couple of hits. Coldest home openers in Comerica Park history. Well, we're almost there. We had 38 degrees was our game time temp, just 1 degree better than the coldest. The fuel condition presented by Ace Hardware and the Scotts Company. 38 degrees, not much humidity, cloudy and cold today, but that's all right.
However, I believe, partner, a lot of those fans out there have got some beverages in them, and they're not feeling as cold as we may think they're feeling out there.
Some hot cocoa?
Especially the adults.
Some cocoa?
Yeah, some cocoa.
Yeah.
With a little chaser in it.
If you don't watch your drink in the parking lot before the game, you want to have somebody keep an eye on it for you.
I have a feeling some folks down there ain't feeling no cold at all.
Well, I didn't have any cocktails, but I feel good. This is nice today, huh?
Not bad.
The wind's not bad.
Not bad.
These folks don't care how cold it is. They're having a good time here at the ballpark. Another sellout crowd here today at Comerica Park for the home opener.
And you know they got some club atmosphere out there in right field in that New Amsterdam. Standing room only.
Mark Teixeira leading things off here in the second. Teixeira, Ackley, and Chase Headley facing Jordan Zimmerman. He allowed a walk, but got a double play in the first inning, and down goes Teixeira. First strikeout for Zimmerman.
It's a pretty good pitch here. It's a breaking ball. He doesn't throw many changeups, so he needs that breaking ball when he goes up against the left-handed bats. That's not a good one, but Teixeira swings right through it.
They have the shift on for Teixeira now. Castellanos has to move back across the diamond at third base for Dustin Ackley. Alex Rodriguez not playing today as Joe Girardi gives him a day off, and they've utilized Teixeira as the DH. Veteran players, and once they get to about age 39, 40, 41, you really start to watch how many games they play, even though it's still very early in the season. 1 ball and 1 strike on Dustin Ackley.
Dustin Ackley, former #1 draft choice of the Seattle Mariners, never really performed all that well in their uniform. He was traded to the Yankees last year, and he had a pretty good second half of the season. This guy was all world at North Carolina when he was a collegiate player.
Yeah, second pick in the country, and I just saw a thing on him when he wrote in the One magazine about it was tough. He felt it put a lot of pressure on him. It happens to many high draft picks. So much is expected of you, and it just takes time to develop. You start pressuring yourself, you don't develop as you should. It's just something you got to deal with if you want to be in the big leagues.
And Seattle really didn't do him many favors either on the defensive end. He played first base, he played second base, they moved him to the outfield.
He hit 400 at North Carolina.
Ooh.
So prolific of a hitter he was. He'll bounce one right into the shift. And Ackley is out 2 away. Well, the Bernstein Advantage brings you the pitcher-batter matchup. The Bernstein Advantage today features Zimmerman and Chase Headley, and Zimmerman has had his number.
Well, the numbers don't lie. Tell you, Zimmerman, just a guy, the location is so important to him so far in this game. Real good job of moving the ball around. And you know, I've heard some people talk about the lack of velocity, how it's going down a little bit. That's going to happen to any pitcher. You start to put innings on that arm, but he has a sneaky finish as well. I've talked to several hitters that have faced him over the years. Some young ones that faced him over in the minor league camp, they said he's got a good finish on that fastball, very sneaky.
Here's the 1-0, and Headley takes outside. Did you guys see that stat that Zimmerman has not walked 2 straight batters in 123 starts?
I did see that. I had to read it twice.
Pretty impressive. He did walk a man at the first, but then got a double play. There you go. And I believe that covers over 700 or so innings. So Zimmerman has been able to limit the damage, at least via the base on balls. So another walk, just as we say. That Zimmerman doesn't walk many. That's his second of the game. 2-out runner now for Didi Gregorius.
Chase Headley used to be a stolen base threat, used to steal 20+ bags a year, only 2 last year. Actually, it was 0 for 2 attempts, so unlikely to go here.
First one is skied in the air to shallow center field. Anthony goes under it, and that is that. Gregorius retired. So are the Yankees. No runs. They get a walk and leave a man. Hearty souls here at the ballpark today, enjoying opening day 2016. As we go to the bottom of the second on opening day here at the ballpark, Luis Severino back to the hill facing Nick Castellanos. Tigers got a run in the first on the RBI hit by Miguel Cabrera. Castellanos looks at ball one. Nick in that series against the Marlins was 1 for 8, but he had a couple of RBIs, a couple of really good at bats in that series. That's outside 2-0.
When you have that high leg kick that Castellanos features and you're going up against a hard thrower like Severino, you have to make sure you get it up and get it down. If you don't get it down soon enough, he'll throw that fastball right by you.
They're playing to pull against Castellanos with 3 defenders to the left of second base.
Nice slide piece there, 2-0 count.
Yeah, I tell you what, it's hard to believe, as hard as Severino throws, that they're playing the shift of Castellanos. Another slider right there.
Nasty.
You can see it's very short, breaks very late. It's got a little bit of depth to it too, going down.
Stays on the fastball plane until the last couple of feet and then just slides to the outside corner.
It'll bounce in 3-2.
Likes a lot of 3-2 sliders to the right-handed hitters, Severino does.
James McCann waiting on deck. Back in the starting lineup today. Saltalamacchia got the call in game 2 a couple of days ago in Miami against Jose Fernandez. There's a bouncing ball towards short. Diving stop there. Gregorius. His throw is not in time. Infield hit for Castellanos.
Well, they played the shift here. Finds a hole anyway. Gregorius to his right. This guy's got a pretty strong arm. Good Nick out of the box. Beats it out.
Gregorius threw that ball from one knee. Gregorius reminds me a lot of a former big leaguer named Pokey Reese. Same type of build, same type of range, same type of athleticism at that shortstop position.
Well, we traded for Didi when I was over in Arizona, and a young kid still. Very athletic, got a rocket arm. He can make some plays. Bat's still got to come. Many young players coming up in the big leagues today.
James McCann batting. Tigers have their 3rd hit of the game already. McCann was 0 for 5 in the opener in Miami. across the throat.
Severino has a pretty quick move over there, very quick to the plate. Probably not somebody you want to take off on. Got the stopwatch out. Let's take a look.
What do you got?
125. And I think that with Nick, you're looking for a 1-4 or better.
Or 5 or 6.
That's even better.
Yeah.
1-4 is borderline. Good throw will get you.
Nick not going to steal many bases.
You know, some of the things that the Tigers worked on, like with Castellanos, is the routes, going first to third. Those are the types of things they aim to do a better job at this year.
Swing and a miss and a big rip there by McCann. Well, Severino with another strikeout, his third. Well, this week only, T-Mobile customers can get a free season-long subscription to MLB.tv Premium. Go to T-Mobile.com/MLB to sign up now and catch every moment on America's fastest-growing LTE network. Here's Iglesias.
Tell you what, I really like Iglesias, the way he's developed, worked very hard this spring. I like his bat. I think the Tigers, would they lead the league in double plays last year? Or they were way up there.
Yeah, they did.
He's a great hit and run guy right here. With Castellanos on base, I like it. Yankees are thinking the same thing.
1-0 count on Iglesias. Here are the numbers he posted in spring training. 358.
Also stole 4 bases.
Yeah, and that's something I was going to bring up. Is he a guy that can improve on those numbers?
I think so. I think he's got the kind of speed to steal more bases than he has stolen in the past. We watched him a couple of years ago when he led the league in infield singles.
Yeah.
So that's a guy that can run.
Yeah. When I was working with the Tigers this year, we worked a lot on his starts and his setup and getting him more into an athletic position. He worked on the stolen bases kind of early to mid-spring, and then we talked about taking it a little easy in spring training. You don't want to steal too many there. Take something out of your legs. And the other thing is, people are scouting you. You don't want to get too much attention when the season starts. But he's improved, and we'll dig some footage out from last year and show it beside this year. His whole setup over there at first base, his start, his mechanics, very. He's got a great attitude about it. Really wants to get better.
Gibby, I know you worked with the team in spring training on base running. What was the one thing this team needed to improve on this year over last year?
I think just making it a priority. You know, Rod knows everybody wants to hit. You're going to do it every day.
Bouncer back up the middle, could be 2, should be 2, and it is. So the double play ends the inning. No runs to hit, nobody left.
Up to the new Tigers, Jordan Zimmermann features nice two-seam fastball anywhere from 86 to 87 miles an hour. Here's that 12-6 breaking ball that falls directly off the table. And then once he gets ahead of you, he likes to expand the strike zone with that slider, especially away from the right-handed batters. And because of that, this guy, one of the best pitchers in all of baseball.
Yeah, you look at his pitch usage right there. Looking for the early out if he can get it. But he knows the hitters. He uses their aggressiveness. This is what the good pitchers do when they've got stuff, multiple pitches. They can locate it well. They know the guys that are anxious on the first pitch. They get that quick strike, that quick out. And then the chase guys. You see the slider down and away there in the example that Rod gave you.
That's what his former pitching coach, Steve McCatty, used to preach to Zimmermann when he first got to the big leagues. Throw lots of strikes, work quickly, let the hitters put the ball in play. Don't look to get strikeouts.
Aaron Hicks hammers one to center field. Playable, though, for Anthony Gose. One away. Time for a game break now. Mickey York. Oh, we can't wait.
Let's go Pistons.
That's right. We got to get the Wings in, too. And, of course, the Tigers are going to put together a good season this year. Many feel that they're going to be out of the playoffs when you look at all the pundits, but none of that really seems to matter.
Nobody really knows. It kills me, you know. I mean, it's a long-fought, long season. A lot of tough things are going to happen for everybody. Every team, you got to deal with it. But as I said earlier, you want to try and peak at the right time, get into the playoffs, and win that World Championship.
Austin Romine is batting with 1 out. Romine so far just 0 for 1 on the season. Here's the 0-2. That's in the air. Shallow right field. JD under it. And 2 fly ball outs here in the third. Here is the Chevy Silverado most dependable player. We're going to make it plural. Players. As we look at the only pitchers with at least 190 innings and 32 starts in each of the last 4 innings. Jordan Zimmermann is on that list.
Got good mechanics. That's why you see the good control as well. It repeats his delivery. Got a good idea what to do with the stuff.
Back up the middle and into center field. Base hit for Jacoby Ellsbury. And that'll be the Yankees' first hit of the game. 2-out single.
Here's a guy you got to keep an eye on. 21 stolen bases last year. 2 outs. Good candidate to go.
Zimmermann is a perfect guy to keep him close. He may not stop him totally from going, but Zimmermann is an outstanding athlete. He was a three sports star in Wisconsin growing up. And Gibby, I know you'd appreciate this. In one game in high school, he had 11 catches for over 300 yards.
Must have been a good runner too, huh? Catch and run.
300 yards, Kurt.
That's moving.
11 catches. Did you do that?
I don't believe so.
He'll draw a throw down there at first base.
But my point is, when you play 3 sports, I mean, you're going to be athletic at your position, and he is that on the mound. He fields his position well. He has quick feet, which should give him an opportunity to slow down Ellsbury.
Well, he's got a good demeanor as well. He's able to keep the game slow. And by the way, I'm a proponent of multiple sports. Are you?
Absolutely. They're not doing it a whole lot these days, but obviously it really helps you. I mean, if you're playing football, you get that mentality, that mindset. Basketball gives you different motor skills as far as your athleticism is concerned. And of course, baseball is a very difficult sport in itself.
Yeah, baseball, you kind of use all the sports. You don't have the cardio as much, although the constant playing every day, the day off every 21 days, it does fatigue you.
And James McCann is outstanding behind the plate, second year in the big leagues. Real nice exchange, real good throwing arm, and he's very accurate as well.
Yeah, very accurate. And, you know, he's lucky to have Brad Ausmus as his skipper, because Brad was a very good catcher, very smart, knows how to get ready for a game and how to call a game, and McCann has taken on to that.
Runner goes. Here's McCann's throw. It's on target. See you later.
I see you, James.
James McCann.
What a clothesline he threw down to second base.
Not messing
Cuts
around.
down Ellsbury.
My, oh my.
Nothing lead against the New York Yankees. Tigers come to the dish here in the third with Ghosts leading things off. Look who's got a headset on down there in the dugout. Justin Verlander joining us here for a half inning. JV, welcome and congratulations on a good start opening day in Miami. Man, it looked like one of those days where you're thinking no-hitter.
I mean, you can't help but start thinking about it a little bit, but you know, you just keep going about your business, and if it happens, it happens. You know, it's really like the 7th, 8th, 9th that it really starts to sink in.
You know, I've always thought about guys, and you've made, what, 8 opening day starts now, how difficult it is on a day like today. What's Zimmerman going through to try and dial back the emotions a little bit?
Yeah, you know, I think once you get out there and throw that first pitch, everything's kind of, you know, back to normal. The anxiety, kind of the intensity, the emotion pregame, that whole day leading up to it. Look at Pelfrey, he's so tall. You know, he just, we got the
just
beanie,
right in our
beanie
shot.
Thing, yeah, he just wants a little TV time. You know, but you know, once you get that first pitch under your belt, then it's all right. Let's go.
Hey JB, it's Gibby. We just watched James McCann cut down Ellsbury. He threw about a 185 down there. What do you try to do as a pitcher? Jordan was about a 125. What do you guys? How do you work on those in spring and implement them into the game? What's your goal?
Well, I think you know, as a pitcher, our goal is just to stay you know, probably under 1.3 or so, and give James time. James got a great arm. Gets rid of it quick, like you said. He's 1.8 or so, 1.9. So as long as we give him time, you know, he's got a good shot to throw the guy out, and those extra outs are huge.
Justin, how do you feel about the way the team went about its business in Miami? Of course, you came out of there with a couple of wins, but overall, how did you feel about what you guys were able to do down there as a team?
Yeah, I think it was great, man. We I've liked the vibe we've had all spring training. The guys we brought in have fit in extremely well. I like this team a lot, and then we took that to the field. You know, I think it would have been easy to kind of give up to the second day against Jose Fernandez. You know, he looked great early in the game, and we just continued to grind out at bats, and we're able to scratch off some runs. Next thing you know, we're up by 5. So I mean, I think the second game was a big indicator of how much resiliency we have.
Gregorius makes a tough play, scooped it first off the bag, and safe at first base is Kinsler. It'll be the second time he's able to reach in this game.
We talked about the range of Gregorius. This guy has mad range at the shortstop position. He gets and goes to his right and throws off balance, but not enough on the throw to get Kinsler. Hey, Justin, you know, we've been in the game a while, and you sometimes you just see things you've never seen, as we did a couple of days ago with Victor Martinez. But in your dugout and in your clubhouse, I mean, a guy gets 2 pinch hits and goes deep from both sides. I mean, what are you guys thinking down there?
Man, that's pretty impressive. We were talking about it a lot after the game. We had no idea if that had ever been done before. I saw it was the first time since 1914 that had been done. I'd be willing to bet that that's the first time it's ever been done from both sides of the plate.
Oh, it's never been done.
Yeah, okay, so there you go. But yeah, I mean, we were all talking about it. It's pretty impressive, man. And I'm proud of Victor, man. He put in a lot of hard work this offseason. He's healthy again, and he's feeling good, and that comes from all the hard work he put in. So hopefully it pays big dividends for himself and the Tigers all year.
That's a good way to run on your base running jog too. And JV, we talked a little bit about base running in spring training. How did you feel when you got on base when you're in Miami?
Man, that's the most awkward spot I've ever been on the baseball field. I don't know how far to get off. I don't know what to do. I'm really glad he hit a homer because, you know, you got so many things running through your head, but it was easy for me to jog. But I didn't even do that naturally. I'm running around kind of like looking behind me, seeing where he's at. I didn't know whether to give Clarkie a high five when I rounded third. All these things that I've never done.
I was thinking about if you had to slide. You remember the picture we looked at?
Which picture?
Oh, when we showed that little clip there, that was at David Palmer. Was it the kid from Philadelphia? The pitcher that tried to slide? I was just hoping that didn't happen.
Omar told me not to slide. He said, don't worry about sliding.
Hey, Justin, I want to ask you about this new look rotation now, because obviously it's, you know, the days of David Price and Max Scherzer, they're gone now. They've moved on. Now you're headlining this rotation that, with the addition of Zimmerman and the way that Sanchez looked a couple of days ago, it's still a pretty good starting five.
I think it's a great starting five. You know, I don't know how, you know, Zimmerman's kind of the guy that you're just, you know, tossing in or national media. I mean, Zimmerman has been an outstanding pitcher for 6-7 years now. You know, I think he's going to be a great addition. Pelfrey eats innings and does a great job. Keeps the ball in the yard, and I think he's going to be great as well. And Sanchez, you know, if he stays healthy, I mean, last time he was healthy, he won an ERA title. So I think he made some adjustments to his pitching mechanics. He's staying a little more upright and not doing that twist thing at the top of his leg kick. So he says he feels great now. I think it's going to be a good year for all of us, I hope.
Miguel Cabrera batting here with 2 outs, runner at first base. We're in the bottom of the third as Miggy cuts and misses. Has the furor of Ben Verlander's home run off of you in spring training died down in the Verlander home?
Yeah, you know, he actually didn't give me too much crap about it.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know if he was nervous to give me a hard time about it or not, but you know, I told him I gave him a cookie and he owes me one.
Gets dripped toward right field, and a diving play out there in right by Aaron Hicks.
Well, we know Hicks can play some defense. He's a center fielder by trade, but he's an outstanding right fielder as well.
All right, JV, we appreciate it. Good luck in your next start.
All right, guys. Thank you very much.
All right, Tigers still lead this one 1-0, but a great defensive play by Hicks and right. Cool, brisk afternoon here in downtown Detroit. The Tigers and Yankees. And it's 1-0 in favor of the Tigers as we go to the fourth. Jordan Zimmerman back to the hill. Brett Gardner leads it off. Gardner was at the plate when Ellsbury was caught stealing back in the third. 2, 3, and 4 coming up for the Yankees. Here's the 1-0. 1 ball, 1 strike on Gardner. Base on balls back in the first inning.
Yeah, Zimmerman pretty good with his first pitch strike so far today. Is 8 of 12. Ooh, some good late life on that 2-seamer at 91.
Mike Everett, the home plate umpire, said it was inside.
He's the crew chief.
Now the 2-1.
That is something that we're starting to see more and more pitchers do. Guys that have fastballs anywhere from 90 to 93 to 94. The elevated fastball is a fastball that has become the norm for a lot of guys. It's a very difficult pitch to hit for left-handers and right-handers.
It's pulled on the ground to first base on a backhanded play. Cabrera has it. Zimmerman covers, 1 gone. Here is the Let's Motor player profile brought to you by BMW Mini. And Starlin Castro, most RBIs in his first 3 games with the Yankees since, how about this, 1920.
That's a lot of people there.
He's always been a really good hitter. I mean, this guy is just 26 years old. He's 2 hits shy of 1,000.
Yeah, he covers the plate well. Can go use the whole field. Way to get him out is to pitch him up in the zone. He just does not hit the ball well up there at all. Looking at it last year, maybe had 1 hit up at the top of the zone. But he swung the bat well. He's off to a good start, and he's feeling it.
Well, it's basically a continuation of what he did in spring training this year. Batted .367 in spring camp.
He needed a new start as well. They had a new kid come over there. And
new change of scenery.
Yep.
And the Cubs did well in trading him to the Yankees because it was a peak value. I mean, he got off to a kind of a sluggish start. Joe Madden took his position basically away from him. He moved him to second base, and Castro did not complain. He just hit the second half of the season, and he's a major reason why that Cubs team went as far as they did go last year. We talked about the Schwarbers and the Bryants and the Rizzos, but Castro was right there getting it done too.
Anthony Ghost comes in on the shallow, lazy fly ball. 2 gone.
Yeah, a little interruption in Schwarber. You see that ankle injury he had?
Yeah, I did see that. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, say it's not broke, but with ankles, sometimes it's better to have it broke. They heal quicker.
Yeah, because those high ankle sprains, man, they take a long time to heal.
Here's Mark Teixeira. He struck out in the second. Teixeira looks at a ball high. Teixeira really in his career, despite his good numbers overall, hits only .225 lifetime against the Tigers. He does have 17 homers though.
Hit a home run yesterday to left field, which he very seldom does, against that kid Giles of the Houston Astros, who's a 98-mile-per-hour fastball that he waited perfectly on and drilled.
And he smokes that one right by Castellanos, who was playing in short right field.
But that's what he usually does. He's a pull hitter, especially when batting left-handed.
Yeah, good fastball hitter on the outside part of the plate. Right here he gets something middle in. You see it running back over the middle of the plate. He's trying to get the head out here and go yard.
That was a changeup too.
That was a changeup.
You saw it coming out of his hand. I was talking to Rich Doobie before the game today, and I was asking him, would Zimmerman throw changeups? And he said, you know what? He used the pitch a lot in spring training. I don't know if he's going to use it during the game today, but when you go up against this many left-handers, you have to try something else. And you can see he was a little bit not certain of that pitch.
Yeah, his 4th pitch, and if you're going to throw the changeup, you want it down in the zone. That one, he's lucky he hung it.
He slowed his arm speed down too, almost telegraphed it.
Yeah, sometimes they go really quick and then they slow it down right at the release point, but Tex was on that for sure.
Here's another left-handed batter, Dustin Ackley. Ackley grounded out 4-3 his first time up.
This has turned into a real nice opening day.
Temperature has climbed up over 40 now. It's 41 degrees. A little bit of a breeze, but nice nonetheless. Slice toward left field. Upton is on the move. And that'll be it for the Yankees here in the fourth. No runs, one hit, one left.
Now Victor Martinez would come back this year. This is Victor last year, and that left knee, that back knee was so troublesome. He just really couldn't do anything. But a couple of days in Miami, look at him stay on that back side and really generate a lot of power. He didn't have any swings like this last year from the left side. Take a look at last year on the left, and then on the right this year, out in front on the left, and he's staying back again, trusting the lower half of his body. And when you have the kind of hand-eye coordination and skill set that Victor does, if you stay back on the ball, it helps you generate much more bat speed, and that's one of the reasons why he's off to a stellar start.
Yeah, as you said, the base is very solid. You can tell after the swing. Last year, Victor really just almost falling over. This year, finishing the swing, good length through the zone. He's got that bat speed.
That home run to left center field was very impressive, and I think Brad Ausmus in spring training did something that he didn't do last year. Victor a lot of times talked his way into the lineup even though he was injured, but Brad said after the hamstring injury in spring, you got to show me you're 100%, and he sent him down to the backfield in the minor leagues where he had about 12 at-bats. He made him run the bases, and then when he was healthy, he allowed him to come back on the major league side and participate in games down the stretch.
Well, here's some info on those pinch hit home runs that Victor hit. The first player in Major League history with pinch hit homers in each of his first 2 games of a season. One lefty, one righty.
I mean, we've been in the game a long time, man, and you still see things that you've never, ever seen before.
Well, Rod and I were talking yesterday actually about the need to keep him healthy. You know, he's getting a little older. He's had some bouts with injuries, and it's important to give him time to recover. Now there's never going to be a good day to give Victor or Miggy a day off, but you're going to have to do it if you want to get him through the season. Sometimes you got to bite the bullet, and that will extend his season. You know, you get hot, you're running the bases all the time. You got doubles. You scored from first base all the way to home. You got to kind of take these things into consideration and give a guy a blow sometimes to try and preserve that health throughout the season.
3-2 on Victor Martinez, and that is rolled right to the first baseman Ackley, who smothers it, and Severino covers for the L, 1 away. And let's check in now with Johnny Canyon, who's hanging out in right field at the New Amsterdam bar.
Well, I can tell you this, guys, this is one of the best places to be if you're a Tigers fan. And honestly, it's not that bad out here when the sun is shining. We actually had a couple girls just walking by a minute ago, and as soon as they walked into the sun, they just sat and froze and stared up into it. And everybody's under control for the most part. There was a lady about my age behind us wearing a Tigers onesie who was giving everybody around her a hug. So I passed her. I told her to head over to the booth, so be expecting that.
Excellent.
It's a pretty good time out here in the New Amsterdam bar.
Hey, when I grow up, I want to be just like you, Johnny Kane.
Yeah, well,
Wait
you're
a minute.
beyond
What
that.
is your age, Johnny? We want to know.
Well, a lot of people would like to know. Come on, Gibby.
Don't be shy. Let's go.
I'm not shy. I'm not shy. It's good to hear your voice. Yeah, we're on TV, guy. That's what we're all talking about.
Has he got a nice ice water there?
Yeah, I think that's exactly what it is. He's staying hydrated here for sure.
Attaboy.
All right, Johnny, thanks. We better let him go quickly. Here's Castellanos. Martinez aboard with 1 out. And Nick takes a strike call. 1-1 on Castellanos. I want to get back to give you something you were talking about with Victor Martinez. As you get older, how do you change the way you work out? What did you do as you were getting older as a player in the offseason? What changes did you do?
Well, you have different routines, but even like with Victor, and I talked to him about this, you know, when you first start out to be a DH, you do too much. Because you're down there, you're riding the bike, you're running, you're hitting, and then it becomes too much, and it is going to wear you down as you get late into a season. So he's paired that way back. You get in a cage, you take a swing here. It's kind of like when you watch guys warming up in the bullpen. Once they're loose, you know, they got 8 pitches when you get out here onto the mound. So you don't want to just keep throwing and throwing and throwing nervously. You want to throw, make sure you're loose so you can get in. Same with when you're a designated hitter, or if you're a position player as well. You got to just get to know your body. You got to take it easy on yourself. You got to give yourself better opportunity to recover.
Castellanos fouls it away. 1 ball and 2 strikes. There's no doubt the health of Martinez will be critical this year, especially paired with Cabrera in the middle of the lineup. They both missed significant time last year. And Brad certainly has that comfort of knowing that when he can stick those 2 guys in 3 and 4, it's going to be usually a pretty good night. Castellanos lays off that high fastball. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, if you're JD Martinez on first base, because Severino's thrown some slower breaking balls that have bounced, you have to anticipate maybe one bouncing, and if it does bounce, you have to be ready to get to that next base.
Slap back out of play.
I know the Tigers worked on the dirt balls during early work. Brad had them broken into 3 groups. So they went through a different group each day working on just that, dirt ball reads from first base, second base. As Rod said, you have to anticipate that. If you don't, you're going to be too late.
It's a mindset.
Throw back, close play. Severino gave up a double to Kinsler in the first and a 1-out single to Miguel Cabrera, who put together a pretty good at bat. And that gave the Tigers a 1-0 lead. It still stands here as we play in the bottom of the 4th. Bouncing ball right side, base hit. He shoots one the other way to put 2 men aboard.
Pretty good hitting right here. It's been a tough matchup all day for these Tigers. Good, stays on the ball. The ball's actually breaking on the inside part of the plate. They got that shift on over to the left side, finds a hole.
We'll bring Romine out to the mound to have a chat with Severino. James McCann will hit. McCann struck out in the 2nd inning.
Well, hopefully James did a little schoolwork on that first at bat. Now you come up here with a guy on first and second, 1 out, got a chance to do some damage when it counts.
Another healthy cut, 0-1.
High heater there again.
Yes, it was.
Gonna have to lay off that high one.
Tigers now have 6 hits in this game. McCann in his 2nd full season in the major leagues. He'll get away from Romine, but not far enough.
And Dave Clark, third base coach, and a really good third base coach, very animated down there. He knows exactly what the situation is with the throwing arms of the outfielders. The left fielder, Gardner, average arm at best. Ellsbury doesn't have a strong arm, but the right fielder, Hicks, does. That comes into the decision making and your preparation before the game.
Here's the 1-1. Bouncing ball left side, deep in the hole. Diving stop. Gregorius has no play. Thought about going to third, but could not pull the trigger.
Tigers already with what a couple of infield singles here today.
I think all three were to Gregorius. Thought about picking this ball up and going to third. Good break by JD. They have no play.
Here's where you have to capitalize. You got a guy like Severino on the mound. You get the bases loaded with just one out. You have to capitalize in this situation.
You were talking about Dave Clark over there. This is a very tough situation. You got the bases loaded. When you think about what third base coaches do, he got a base hit to the outfield. He's got to send the guy at second, but he may have to stop the guy at first base or a gapper. Same way. We'll try and tape one of these and show the folks at home.
Well, to your point, Rod, last year from the fourth inning or later, Severino's ERA was 1.20.
We talked about him earlier in the contest too, about how tough he gets when runners are in scoring position.
So this represents an opportunity here in the fourth inning to break this one open a bit.
.178 batting average against Severino in these types of situations last year, and only one home run given up. I think he only gave up like 8 home runs in the minor leagues and over 1,200 batters faced.
Bases loaded, 2 outs or 1 out. What do you think? A 2-0 count. I think you pretty much look for a heater right here.
Oh, for sure.
Get the head out. There it is on the outside part of the plate. No offer.
He's such a good hitter with 2 strikes, so not that he wants to get the 2 strikes with Severino out there, but he felt like he could just take a pitch and make Severino work out there because he knows he's going to get another really good pitch to hit.
You'll shoot it to right field, base hit. 1 run scores. That's Martinez. Castellanos is held at third base. An RBI single for Jose Iglesias.
Tell you what, this is a good hit right here and a pretty tough pitch through the heater. 2-0, comes back with a slider, breaking down and away, and look how Iglesias stays on that ball, doesn't try and pull it.
That is not a bad pitch. Outstanding at bat by Iglesias. And that point came up that you just brought up, Gibby, regarding the third base coach, Dave Clark.
Yeah, check him out, sends the first guy.
And stops one.
Jordan's liking it. Tack those runs on.
Most of the right fielders in the game, he probably sends the runner there as well, but Hicks has got a really good throwing arm out there.
I agree, and the other thing as a runner, though, you have to run full speed through that bag, and when you get stopped late like that, they practice how to stop. You don't just put the old foot and get on your heels and slip like a banana peel. You got to break it down, get your tail end down to the ground, real choppy steps, and retreat to third base.
Here's Anthony Gose. They are still loaded with 1 out. The Tigers have a 2-0 lead. Anthony bounced out his first time up, batting in the 9 slot here today. Last year when Gose put the ball in play, it was usually a really good result. His batting average on balls put in play was 4th best in the American League. 352. And now he's got 3 guys on base here trying to pick him up and extend that lead.
Watching Anthony Gose last year and now getting into this year, he's a guy, he's a dead low ball hitter. Definitely want to get your pitch down in the zone. You're giving yourself a much better chance, even though you got 2 strikes here. Don't offer it that high heater. Foul that high one off. Good job right there. I was a low ball hitter. What was you a low or a high ball hitter?
I like the ball middle in, like the ball down low. But guys that didn't have overpowering stuff, every now and then I could climb the ladder and get to those fastballs. But I like the ball middle in. I was a dead pull hitter.
Well, when we were at Tiger Stadium, well, you were right. It was mandatory that you pulled the ball, that short porch.
The 1-2. Bouncing ball towards second base. Castro to second one. That's it. A run will score. Castellanos is in. An RBI for Ghosts.
See, I call that a productive at bat right there, even though he got a little ground ball to the second baseman. Castro, he's got that speed, battled it with 2 strikes. This guy's got good stuff. Beats out the double play ball. Tigers get another run.
3-0 ball game. That'll bring up Ian Kinsler.
Ghost running here, Kurt, or is he going to allow Ian to swing the bat because he's been so hot?
Well, I think maybe 2 strikes. He might, but well, we talked a little bit. This guy's pretty quick, got a pretty quick move. I don't know that they're going to extend that to him right now. I like the hole that's open right now. The Yankees are playing kind of a modified shift over to the left. Castro up the middle. There's a big hole for Ian Kinsler right here to hit the ball through the infield between first and second base.
Last year, Kinsler led the American League with 61 multiple hit games. He already has 3 in 3 games this year. He had a really good spring, and he has pretty much carried that into the regular season. Single and a double in this one. Pulled foul outside of the bag at third. One and one on Ian Kinsler. Rod mentioned a while ago, it really has turned into a pretty nice day here. Temperature in the 40s now, plenty of sunshine, another big crowd.
Good barbecuing weather and a good day to win a ball game.
2 balls, 1 strike.
Just watching Kinsler right there, the way he took that pitch. It looks like he's feeling very comfortable at the plate. You watch hitters when they jump at that ball when it comes across the plate. That usually means they're not picking it up good, but Ian Kinsler very calm as that ball goes by for a ball.
2-2. Severino's coming off a spring camp in which he led the entire Grapefruit League in strikeouts. Had a long scoreless streak in spring camp as well, but the Tigers have gotten him for 8 hits already in this game.
Put together a pretty good run through this inning. Back-to-back hits, 4 in a row to start the inning. So far, 2 runs.
Ground ball to second. Castro has it there. To retire the side, but the Tigers add 2 more. 1 coming in on the RBI single by Jose Iglesias. Detroit is brought to you by the Sam Bernstein Law Firm, official legal services sponsor of Fox Sports Detroit. Belt Tire, get the lowest tire price, period. Belt Tire. And by Chevrolet, more than you expect for less than you imagine. Back here in downtown Detroit, big crowd enjoying a 3-0 Tigers lead on opening day, the 116th opening day here in the Motor City. And the Tigers trying to win their 8th consecutive home opener. Jordan Zimmerman back to work, has a little bit more of a cushion to work with now. 3-0 score. Chase Headley leads it off for the Yankees. Headley, Gregorius, and Hicks.
5th inning, they say that's one of the toughest innings for a starting pitcher, because they thinking about getting that game to regulation so they get that win. And you start to get tired. Now you're getting to the 2nd, 3rd at bat in around the order. Tigers are shifting here. Looks like a big old net just waiting to gobble that ball up.
And it's in there, a strike call. 2-2 on Headley. Headley in his career has had solid numbers, but he has one standout season a couple of years ago with the Padres. He knocked in 115. He'll shoot this one in the air to center, but it's playable for Ghosts. 1 gone here in the 5th. Well, Tigers fans, if you can't watch the games on TV, you can now stream games live on your mobile device. Just go to your app store and download the free Fox Sports Go app. Log in, stream Tigers wherever you go, and keep up to date with Tigers baseball. We're all fired up, Gibby.
See a camera and you yell. Do they have those cue cards like on the Tonight Show or something?
Sound like it.
Applause. Scream.
Gregorius, the batter. DD fly to center in his first at bat. He'll fly to left in his second at bat. 2 gone. A lot of fly ball outs today for Zimmerman.
Good park to do it in, too.
I got it for 7 fly ball outs already. Here is Aaron Hicks.
There you see it. 8 flyouts, 3 groundouts, and a strikeout.
It's fouled back to the screen. 0-1.
So far, pretty efficient with his pitches. 62 total so far, 40 of them strikes. Castellanos in at the corner there at 3rd base.
Hicks a fly ball to center. That was in the 3rd. Yankees have had a few base runners, but really nothing major in terms of scoring chances.
Yeah, Zimmerman has been very good at cutting those innings off. Like the Tigers' last inning, had 4 hits in a row. Take a look at this last pitch right here, right on there. Good movement, good late life.
Outstanding job of receiving that baseball by McCann as well, which he gave Mike Everett, the home plate umpire, a really nice look at it. McCann getting better and better at receiving, gathering those balls on the outer edges of the plate and framing them.
Is that something that is being looked at more in baseball these days, guys? Do you think pitch framing and how many strikes you can steal? Because I don't seem to remember it ever being talked about, but now it's an official stat.
Oh, for sure. Catchers, especially your younger catchers, and Gibby brought this up earlier. Brad Ausmus was outstanding at it. James McCann is getting much better at being real quiet with that glove like there. Just really quiet, and then you just pull it up ever so slightly. Sometimes you get the call, sometimes you don't, but you don't want to be violent with your hands, because usually when you're violent, you're not going to get that ball called a strike.
Yeah, they're trying to keep the elbow and the arm from looking like that moves, so they try and move the glove and catch it in one motion.
Something else that Mick Billmeyer was talking to me about, he's the bullpen coach for the Tigers as far as the catchers are concerned. You want them to get as low as possible, because the lower you get, it just gives the umpire a really good opportunity to see what's going on. And sometimes you can be deceptive if the catcher's really low and catches the ball down low. you can get that ball called a strike.
High, towering fly ball to right field, but J.D. Martinez calling for it. And 3 fly ball outs for Zimmerman here in the 5th inning. Tigers baseball on opening day, presented by Belt Tire.
Caught up with the game summary. Very first inning, Ian Kinsler slices the double down in the right field corner. Then the big fella, well, he drives him in. That was the first run in the contest. And in the 4th, they scored a couple more runs against Severino, the very talented right-hander. 4 straight hits, and then a ground out by Ghost. Ghost too fast for them to turn 2, and they scored another run. And defensively, they've done nice work as well. McCann with a laser thrown down to second base to nab Jacoby Ellsbury, who stole quite a few bases last year.
So here is Justin Upton to begin things here in the bottom of the 5th. 2, 3, and 4 Upton, Cabrera, Martinez.
Justin's been getting a steady diet of fastballs and fastballs up in the strike zone, and he's been swinging through the majority of those.
It's tough. It's a tough matchup for him right now. Swinging at the pitches up and out of the zone early in his at bats. Now he's determined to take it, get the ball down. He's throwing the ball down in the zone. Can't guess right.
Will shoot one to short on a line, but caught by Gregorius. One gone here in the 5th inning as Miguel Cabrera strolls into the plate. Brings us to the Menards Big Money Encounter, and Miguel Cabrera.
Yeah, he likes the Yankees.
Loves the Yankees.
Contact to damage ratio simply off the chain.
He likes everybody though, doesn't he?
18 homers and 46 ribbies. OPS over 1,000.
Probably substitute Yankees for any other team or vice versa.
That's right.
A good OPS, something over 800. Is that what you kind of your benchmark, Brad?
800, 900 in that area for your bigger guys that bat in the middle of the batting order. Guys like Mig. Mig is just different, though. He is and has been the best hitter in our sport for the last decade.
I think one of the advantages and the interesting thing that we get to watch him work behind the scenes. It's amazing. It really is. And every other hitter on this team, it's a great example. I know they all watch him. JD, I know he watches him, but he's very smart, obviously, the way he breaks it down. Like, I used to try not to lunge at the pitch, but I watched Miggy one day watching film with Iglesias.
He watched some film?
Oh,
he was helping Iglesias out.
No, he was watching him. He comes out and says, I'm lunging. And I couldn't see it, but he's that good that it's really, he's got it so specific and so precise.
Well, how many times in the last number of years have hitters, not only on the Tigers side, but even the opposing hitters, they say when they want to learn to be a better player, better hitter, they pull out video on Miguel and watch what he does in the batter's box.
Well, I know players that like there's opposing players that do that.
Meanwhile, Cabrera continues to battle here against Severino.
Had his glasses on. He took his glasses off to get him a better look.
Yeah, the sun was out a little bit earlier, and now it looks to be clouding in a little bit. So got rid of those specks.
And again, the 2-2.
Couple of in this particular at bat, couple swings with glasses on, and he simply gets rid of them.
Not too worried about throwing him. I'm sure he's got a couple more.
He could probably hit with his eyes closed, to be honest with you.
Probably could. When he's in the groove, we know he can.
Swing and a miss. Severino finally takes care of him. That is his 5th strikeout.
We're going to make that our Bell Tire pitch by pitch. Severino able to get Miguel this time. Miguel got him the first time up. Miguel lays off that slide piece. And then very seldom will the count go to 3-0 and then a pitcher be able to come back and get Miguel Cabrera. Nice short swing there on the 1 strike count. Fouled off a couple before Severino able to throw that mid-90s fastball by Miggy.
Well placed right on the outside corner with a little tailback action. That's the kind of pitch as a hitter. It looks like it's going to be outside, then tails late back on the outside part of the plate. And you're too late, a little bit tardy. Ball's by you.
Severino is about to throw his 90th pitch of this afternoon. He had a 31-pitch 4th inning, which the Tigers got a couple of runs. And here's the breakdown on Severino.
62 strikes, 28 balls.
He'll get to about 100, and that'll be it for him. So more than likely, this is his last inning.
Yeah, he's so young, they're going to protect that arm.
They say there are no limits on him as far as the year is concerned. He pitched at 3 different levels last year, AA, AAA, and the movies, and he threw about 160 innings. So they say there's really no limitations this year for the youngster.
Pulled to the right side into short right field, and Severino is going to get over there to make the play. And the Tigers go 1-2-3 in the 5th. Tigers on top of the Yankees 3-0 as we break open the home schedule here. The home opener, Mario and Pemba, Kirk Gibson, Rod Allen, and Kirk, talk about Jordan Zimmerman. He's been awfully good so far.
He's been money so far. Here as we get into the 6th inning. Good locations, got all of his pitches working, and this is just what they got him for, and hopefully he can do this throughout the season.
And Rod, the Tigers have a couple of runs on the board. They have 3, but 2 of those runs came on extra opposite field base hits, I should say. Cabrera and Iglesias, good approach there.
Well, it's kind of like the same approach they had a couple of days ago against Jose Fernandez of the Miami Marlins, a guy that threw hard as well. They got to him early. The big home run, of course, by Saltalamacchia. But some of the other at-bats in that particular game against him were bases the other way. The Tigers have gotten to a point of where they're not stingy against power pitchers. They're just simply taking what the opposing pitcher gives them.
Yeah, the Tigers, they've got a little bit of ability offensively. That's why the power pitchers are going to struggle a bit. And the Tigers do have a great opportunity to get to these guys.
Austin Romine leading it off for the Yankees here in the 6th. Romine, Ellsbury, and Gardner facing Zimmerman in his Tigers debut. 5 scoreless so far. Here's the 0-2. And it missed inside 1-2.
Good pitch.
And again, Mike Everett barks out, that's inside.
Talked to Brad Ausmus during the course of spring training, and this is the pitch right here that he has really been hammering to all of his pitchers. That fastball ever so slightly above the belt buckle, that's inside, and you get a lot of outs there because pitchers are able to go there, and the hitters just don't have really good bat speed on those particular pitches. They don't hit them very hard. Rich Doobie also is preaching pitching inside, new pitching coach.
Well, like you said, they come inside. That gets the attention of the batter, especially if you're behind the count as the hitter. Now you throw it on the outside. You're not quite into it. You're not diving across to cover that outside part of the plate as much as you would have before that purpose pitch.
Do you think that Rich Doobie has seen enough of his pitchers in spring training to know what he has, or will it take maybe a month or so in the big leagues?
I think it's going to take some time. I think he's got a pretty good idea. I think the veteran pitching coaches will kind of sit back and watch for a while. They're not going to get right out of the gate and say do this, do that. They're going to want to try and learn the mechanics, their terminology. The pitchers share their terminology. They make suggestions as they develop their relationship.
Especially with your veteran pitchers.
So 2 gone now. Time for a game break. Here's Mickey York. Well, it's going to be a win. They will be in. We are positive thinkers up here, right, Gibby?
Yeah, it's in their hands. That's,
right, Rod?
that's the way
Absolutely.
You got it. That's the way you want it.
All right, 2 gone now. Here is Brett Gardner. And Gardner with a ground out and a walk in this game. 3-0. Tigers have the lead. 1 in the 1st and 2 in the 4th. 1 ball, 1 strike on Gardner. Made his first All-Star team last year for the Yankees. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Gardner always has been a good story. One of those guys that has gotten to the big leagues, but his career initially began as a walk-on at the College of Charleston. He made that team, and now here he is years later, starring in the major leagues.
Yeah, Yankees don't have many homegrown players that are on the field today, but Gardner is one of those.
Here's the 1-2. Got him, strike 3. On the outside corner, Gardner is out. Another strikeout for Zimmerman, his 2nd. And the Yankees go in order. Following the game, we'll select the Fox Sports Detroit Tigers player of the game, presented by McDonald's. Stop by for your breakfast favorites, now being served all day. Severino back at the hill, and the first pitch is lined to right center field off the bat of J.D. Martinez.
That's what Miguel Cabrera told me in spring training. He's been trying to get J.D. Martinez to do a little bit more of. When there's not runners in scoring position and you're leading off an inning and they're overshifting you as the way they were, go ahead and take that base hit the other way. He believes J.D. Martinez is a 300 hitter and a guy that will drive in 100 runs with regularity if he continues with the same approach.
Yeah, just be aggressive, get a good pitch. A lot of guys either are going to hit.
That's how Miggy hits 340, really.
It is.
He takes those hits the other way.
And he hit that solid. He has the right approach to do that.
The majority of the hits the Tigers have today against Severino have been against the traffic.
9 total hits now for Detroit, only 2 for the Yankees.
And the last 2 pitchers they've seen, Fernandez and this youngster Severino, are 2 of the best right-handers in the game, young right-handers in the game.
Castellanos rips it to left, and that's a 3-hit day for Nick.
Man, that is the 3rd consecutive game the Tigers have had 10 hits or more.
Hit the slider last time up. This time he gets a heater, 94 miles an hour.
It's all about the leg kick for him. He gets it up and then he gets it back down, because nothing can happen until that foot gets down. Then the hips rotate and he's able to do that damage. Foot up, now down, bat speed through the zone.
On time.
That's going to be it for Severino. Joe Girardi, coming out of the dugout, has signaled to the bullpen as he was approaching 100 pitches. And it'll be a wall side windows pitching change as the Yankees go to the bullpen. Tigers threatening again here in the 6th inning. We'll be back. Tigers have a 3-0 lead, looking for more. They have 2 on, nobody out. And the new pitcher is Johnny Barbado.
48 games last year in the Mariners for Barbado, 6-2 record with a 2.67 ERA. Now, we talk a lot about the back end of the Yankees bullpen with Miller and Betances, and when they get Chapman back, and rightfully so. I mean, these guys are on a different planet, but they've got some nice complementary pieces, some younger guys in their bullpen that do nice work as well, and did nice work in that series against the Houston Astros they just completed.
Barbado's only 23 years old. Named the outstanding rookie in spring training camp for the Yankees. Got a very good curveball. 326 strikeouts in 317 innings. So it tells you got a little stuff. Good riding fastball, good breaking ball. You see good depth on it. Kind of coming into his own.
The 1-1 to McCann.
Another thing I look for when you see pitchers coming up, many organizations will start their relievers when they're younger, so they'll start a lot of games. Barbados only started 20 games out of his 180 games virtually, so they made that decision, and they do that so they can develop their pitches. It kind of tells you maybe that he was more advanced in his pitches and being able to locate them.
Well, he struck out 3 and 1 1/3 in his debut as a big leaguer. That was on Tuesday against the Astros.
That's 94 miles an hour. Sneaky though. Look at this delivery here. We could look at it from the front. He kind of comes up, brings that arm up, and then real quick arm action through the zone.
McCann takes high.
Here we take a look. Talking about his delivery right here. Kind of very slow. Then he's got that quick arm action. Comes from behind that head right there. And the Tigers have not seen Barbados either, so that adds another intrigue to the equation of trying to be successful against him.
The 3-2. Swing and a miss.
Ooh.
One gone.
Nasty.
Fans, buy one ticket, get one free to see the Tigers take on these Yankees on Sunday at 8 p.m. Lower baseline box and upper box seats are buy one, get one free. To purchase, visit tigers.com/BOGO. So here is Iglesias. Jose looks at ball one.
And Barbados works off the third base side of the rubber, which allows him to get that fastball inside to the right-handed batter should he choose to go there. He missed with that last fastball to Iglesias. You can see the foot on the rubber. It's about as far as you can go over on that rubber.
He really holds those runners at second base.
Barbados is only 23 years old. The Yankees, of course, as we have known the last few years, have been a team of veterans, but their opening day age this year is 29 years old, the youngest opening day age, average that is, since 1992. They're adding some youth, some youthful pieces.
Isn't it like the first time in 25 years they did not sign a free agent in the offseason?
That's right, yeah, they decided to bypass. They made a few tweaks, a couple of minor trades, but usually the Yankees are the first name you talk about in free agent signings.
Yeah, since '91.
Here's the 1-2. It'll get back out of play.
Well, we told you that really this particular situation, at least last year, did not bother Iglesias. With 2 strikes, he was an outstanding hitter. And the reason for that is he basically gave himself up and simply tried to drive the ball the opposite way as he did in that last particular swing.
Line drive, base hit, left field. He yanked that one over the head of Gregorius. That'll load the bases now. Second hit of the ball game for Iglesias.
Short, quick swing.
Very good swing, stays on it, but look at JD, cannot advance here. It's a liner. This is one of the things they worked on. He has to freeze, make sure it goes over the shortstop's head, Gregorius, and that's the price you got to pay. But that's the right play right there. Only 1 out. You don't want to make outs on the bases.
Here is Anthony Gose. His ground ball produced a run his last at bat. Second RBI of the year for Gose, who homered in the series in Miami. Tigers today 4 for 8 with runners in scoring position. And they pounded out 11 hits now. Most of them are singles. One and one.
Just looking at the scorebook here, Iglesias, his previous at bat got a hit on the slider. He went to the curveball, looked like that time, and really staying on that ball, not in the way. Gives Anthony Gose a great opportunity here. This is when these are the big ones here. 6th inning, bases loaded, put them away.
One and two. You mentioned this earlier, Rod. Again, the Tigers double digits in the hit column, and you know, when you think about it, you say, all right, well, they're a pretty good offensive team. Yet the last 2 games, Fernandez and Severino, 2 pretty good ones.
Exactly.
I mean, 2 dominant guys. I mean, 13 strikeouts for Fernandez the other day.
Yeah, his line was crazy. 13 strikeouts, but yet they tacked 5 earnings on him.
The 1-2 outside, 2-2 on Gose.
And Gose can't look for it, but there's no doubt that Barbado more than likely will try to get to that slower breaking ball to get Anthony out in front of to try to get a ground ball or a strikeout.
Yeah, underneath the hands, probably breaking down in underneath.
And the 2-2 swing and a miss.
Nice cutter, 89. 4-seam, 95. Cutter, about 89 miles an hour.
Yeah, the 4-seamer's got a lot of life on it. You can see these guys aren't picking him up really well. They haven't seen him. Put the little cut piece on there. Pretty good sequence.
Cut piece, how about that?
Where did I get that from?
I don't know where you got that from.
Rubbing off on me, Rodney.
Well, Rod, you got the slide piece.
Yeah.
So that might as well be the cut piece. The right-hander Sessa, the former Tiger, was or is now warming up in their bullpen. Bounce to third base. Headley will go to second, and they just get the force. So the Tigers load the bases, but unable to score. You're watching Tigers baseball on opening day from Comerica, presented by Bell Tire.
Back, let's get into the Jimmy John's freaky fast delivery of the game. Jordan Zimmerman under control, getting the double plays when he needs them, using all of his pitches. Good curveball right there, up and away, using all of his pitches. Caught looking, he seems to be getting stronger, and any inning that the Yankees have got a runner on is just limited the damage. 6 innings, 2 hits, to only 2 walks and 2 strikeouts. The Tigers playing well behind him.
9 fly ball outs for Jordan Zimmerman. Back to work he goes, and it's ball 1 to Starlin Castro. Castro, Teixeira, and then Ackley. Mario and Pemba, Kirk Gibson, Rod Allen. Happy to have you with us here today. Joe Nicola is our producer. Mark Isofano is our director. Our terrific Fox Sports Detroit crew got you covered here on opening day.
Yes, they do.
Johnny Kane rolling out in the crowd.
We haven't seen Johnny in a while. He must have stayed out there in right field, right?
Looks like he's having too much fun.
Yeah, he just he bellied up out in the outfield.
2 balls and 1 strike on Castro. Justin Wilson, the left-hander, beginning to tune up in the Tigers bullpen.
Former Yankee.
2-2 now on Castro.
Looks like Wilson's going to be firmly slotted in that 7th inning.
I like him, man. He can miss some bats. That power fastball at 95. He's not afraid to throw strikes either.
No. And one of the things the Tigers were unable to do last year was really get to rolls in the bullpen. Looks like this year Brad trying to establish that much quicker, much earlier in the season.
And it looks like the gentleman that was traded to the Yankees for Mr. Wilson we're going to see in this game, Luis Cessa.
Yeah, he's
heating up in the bullpen now for the Yankees.
It's a good arm. You know, the Tigers really did a lot of reconstruction in the offseason without touching a lot of their major pitching prospects. They did have to give up Cessa in that deal for Wilson. But by and large, most of the good ones are still in the organization.
And he came over from the Mets
right
last year.
Cespedes deal. 2-2 on Starlin Castro. Little chopper to shortstop. Iglesias throws him out.
Zimmerman's been on the hands of Castro all afternoon long.
It looks like they got a game plan there, not leaving it out over the plate. Not letting him get those hands out. Likes to hit the ball up the middle of the field as well. That's his strength. Jordan Zimmerman, as Rod pointed out, doing a good job of stopping that.
His pitch count is in outstanding shape. He's only thrown 88 pitches, 1 out in the 7th.
What do you think his pitch count is today? 105, 110?
At 100, probably around 100, I think. First time out.
Even though the pitch count is low, there's they call it down up. How many times you sit down, how many times you get up. So we're into the 7th inning. He hasn't done that yet this year, I don't believe, has he?
And he really hasn't pitched in a lot of stress either today. And a lot of times that plays into the manager's decision as to how far a guy can go. How stressful has his outs been? And the Yankees really have not done a whole lot today.
Yeah, that's
against Jordan.
That's a good point, Rod.
They only have 2 hits. And, Zimmerman gave up a couple of early walks in the game, but got a double play from Castro in the first. The Yankees just have not threatened all that much. A marvelous debut for Jordan Zimmerman here in the Motor City.
Yeah, Zimmerman has not allowed a Yankee past first base today, even though they've gotten the 2 hits and the 2 walks. None of them have touched second.
I would imagine it's easy to get lost in that rotation that the Nationals were rolling out there the last couple of years. Strasburg, Zimmerman coming over. They have Gio Gonzalez,
Max.
Yeah, I meant to say Scherzer, said Zimmerman. So I mean, they had some guys.
Tell you what, Zimmerman really had Teixeira set up for that pitch. Ball just inside off the corner.
And he lost him. 1 out walk. Here's some of the moves the Tigers made in the offseason. Of course, Frankie Rodriguez coming over. Cameron Maben, who is hopefully going to be back in mid-April sometime. And they signed Zimmerman. Those are the 2 guys at the back end of the pen, Lowe and Wilson. And of course, Justin Upton rounded it out on January the 20th.
Just looking at the roster last year, opening day to this year, it's amazing the work that Al Avila did.
Not a turnover.
And a lot of the young kids that were our depth last year and ended up pitching in the season last year now really are in our minor leagues, and they've gotten their experience, so they'll be much more effective. You take Verhagen as an example of that last year. Kyle Ryan, who's now with us as well in the bullpen. Those guys got their feet wet last year, so they're much better prepared for any role they will be asked to do this season.
It'll get through McCann to the backstop. It goes, and Teixeira will take second base.
You don't see this very often. It's a changeup.
Another changeup.
This goes right through the 5-hole.
Oh, it hit
just
the
came
plate
up too soon.
Did it hit the plate?
Not sure.
That was less than 60 feet. I know that. Looked like that opening pitch I threw.
Brad helped you out though.
It's slapped to center field. Ghost on the move. He'll run it down. And Teixeira has to retreat.
That's what they always say, don't they? Trust your partners.
Right.
Hey, by the way, this week only T-Mobile customers can get a free season-long subscription to MLB.TV Premium. Go to T-Mobile.com/MLB and sign up now to catch every moment on America's fastest-growing LTE network. So 2 outs. Here is Chase Headley. Headley is 0 for 1. He has a walk to his credit. Zimmerman doing a pretty good job against an offense that put up 27 runs in their 3-game series to begin the year against the Astros. He has limited them to just 2 hits this afternoon. And now he's gotten ahead of Headley 0-2.
Again, using the whole strike zone right here. Up and away to Chase. Got him early in the count on his previous at bat. Working much slower right now, Jordan Zimmerman.
Throwing quite a few changeups too. It's one of the things that we talked about at the beginning of the game. How many changeups would he throw to a predominantly left-handed lineup that Joe Girardi, the manager of the Yankees, has ran out there against Jordan today?
And the way you get better at it is you have confidence and you throw it. And again, it kind of tells you about the makeup of Jordan Zimmerman. Probably a pitch many wouldn't feel comfortable throwing at this point. But he has thrown quite a few. When he starts getting them down in the zone, it'll be a much more dominant pitch. Well, Brad's got some thoughts going through his mind right now. When he at 99 pitches, Jordan Zimmerman. Do you leave him in? Do you take him out? If he gets on? All these scenarios going through your head right now as a manager.
This much we do know. Last year he'd left him in.
Oh, yeah.
This year, I don't know.
A few more bullets in the bullpen this year. Doesn't matter. Down he goes. A swing and a miss. So Zimmerman gives up a walk.
He'll get a nice standing ovation as he walks off that bump, too.
100 pitches in his Tigers debut, and the Tigers fans are on their feet with a nice round of applause for Jordan Zimmerman with outstanding work through 7 innings here this afternoon. The Tigers still leading this by a score of 3-0. And they have gotten the job done here today. So on this opening day, we check in now with Andrew Schwalier for God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Coming up, the Consumers Energy 7th inning stretch. 116th home opener in Tigers baseball history, and so far it's been a great day here at the ballpark. The Tigers in front of better than 45,000 fans lead 3-0 as Luis Cessa gets ready to make his big league debut in a wall-side windows pitching change. Justin Upton will be the first man that he faces, and a swing and a miss, 0-1.
Another hard thrower out of that Yankee bullpen. Cessa making the major league roster for the very first time.
Tigers gave up Cessa and Chad Green for Justin Wilson. Here's the 0-1.
Well, if you want to get talent, you got to give up talent, and it's kind of amazing around the big leagues how they trade away players now. Control is such an issue. Whether you can control a player, if you acquire him, it's a lot more value to a player like that than there used to be.
And really, this is the perfect situation for him. If you're Joe Girard and you're trying to get a youngster's feet wet, I mean, you're getting them in a game where, I mean, it's not a meaningless game by any stretch of the imagination, but there's not a whole lot of stress right now on Cessa to make his major league debut.
Yeah, you bring him into a clean inning, number one. You don't hate to bring young kids in with guys on base. Yankees are down in the game, 3-0. But that'll stress you out a little bit right there when he sees Miggy.
And number 24.
Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Upton down on strikes, third time today he is fanned.
When Cessa made the major league roster, he was asked would he like to change his number. He said, no, number 85 allowed me to make the team. I'm going to wear number 85, and the fact there's never ever been a Yankee to wear number 85, as you can imagine.
Well, and it also goes back to the point you made spring training when we did the Yankees. With all the retired numbers they have, pretty soon 85 is going to be a good number.
Yeah, not many left.
There may be a 3-digit number in the future for the Yankees.
Because most guys would not wear 85. I mean, you make the major league team and they ask if you want a lower number, a number that's different than that. Most guys would say, sure.
He waves and misses. 1 ball, 1 strike.
A lot of four-seam fastballs upstairs thrown today by Severino and also now by Cessa. That one at 94.
Victor Martinez will follow. Here's the 1-1. 2 balls and 1 strike. What do you guys think of the new brick backdrop there behind home plate? I think that's a great addition to this ball.
Good touch. Yeah, good touch.
It's sharp.
Cleaned it up a little bit.
Here's the 2-1. 3-1 on Miguel Cabrera. Got the old English D in there. Really nice look. Tigers continue to make changes around the stadium, and it's looking as good as ever.
Tell you what, that's going to be a challenge. The ball could bounce at an angle off of that brick too.
That's a good point. That ball's hammered deep to right field. Way back and gone. Miguel Cabrera has gone deep the other way. Seemingly effortless too. Welcome to the big leagues, Mr. Cessa. First of the year for Miguel.
It looked like Luis Cessa got a little confidence that he threw that other 93 by him, but Mickey made a good adjustment right there, barreled that
and it's
deep
also,
into right field.
And it's also the thing that Miguel could not do last year toward the stretch because he had the injury with the lower half of his body. He wasn't able to get behind balls and drive them the other way like he did right there. That is vintage Miguel Cabrera right there.
Yeah, I would agree. And late in the season, especially, Rod, they just pounded him with four-seam fastballs, and he was un-Miggy-like. But early in this season, he's shown that he's back to normal.
Tigers now have 12 hits. Cabrera gets his first home run and 3rd RBI of the campaign.
And he just continues to torture the Yankees pitching, Miguel Cabrera.
I got you.
Victor in search of his first hit. He's 0 for 3. Lined out his first at bat. A couple of ground outs. Here's the 2-1 from Sessa. 3-1.
He better be careful here, especially if he throws Victor a piece of cheese the way that Victor has been swinging the bat. Victor will barrel it up somewhere.
Yeah, he's looking middle of the field, taking about 4 inches off each corner on the inside corner and outside corner. Everything in between those marks, he's looking.
Foul ball.
It's one more look at the Miguel Cabrera swing. Look at him rest real comfortable on his backside. Balls up in the strike zone. Massive power, outstanding hand-eye coordination. The result, a home run about 20 rows deep to right field. There are left-handers that don't hit the ball that far in that direction.
Just such an effortless swing. Great balance.
Good pitch there by Sessa.
That's his second strikeout as he gets Martinez.
Big curveball, 79 miles an hour. That's way off from the 93-mile-an-hour fastball he's been featuring. Gets Victor out front.
J.D. Martinez has 2 hits today, plus a run scored. Ball high. Sessa is a native of Cordoba, Mexico. Only 23 years old. He was exclusively a starter in the minor leagues. Is on the big league roster as a reliever. In the air to right. Shallow. Hicks sliding to make the catch. Did he?
Looked like it bounced. He's short hop.
Well, he sold it pretty good.
He caught it.
So the Tigers will get 1 run. Here's the play by Hicks. You can tell he caught it.
Yeah. He got that glove underneath it.
Mickey goes deep. First of the year. Tigers ended their lead. What a bank can be when it's time. Come to Comerica. By the all-new 2017 Chrysler Pacifica and by Kroger. What a day here at the ballpark. Glad to have you with us here this afternoon. The Tigers in their home opener. And so far, so good. The Tigers have extended their lead. They are up 4-0 now.
Through 7 innings so far. Now you bring in, get your bullpen involved. You want to shut them down. You like to see your relievers when they come in get quick innings as well.
Justin Wilson will pitch the 8th inning. First one is popped up.
That's nice. First pitch.
Lovely.
Do us a favor.
One away. Let's check in with Johnny Kane.
Well, hello, guys. I had to leave my stool there at the New Amsterdam bar, but I've been walking all around the ballpark today, finding out some neat stories. And there was actually one really cool today. A little after 11 a.m. today, Gregory and Megan Aju decided to tie the knot. A little wedded bliss by the big tiger out there. They said, hey, they circled April 8, 2016 as their wedding date. They wanted it to coincide with opening day. They had their closest friends and family around to witness it. And even though I was neither, I witnessed it too.
Pretty cool. Thanks, John. A whole lot of stuff going on here at the ballpark today. We've got the Tigers opening day. You got a couple of proposals.
It's the best day of the year. Best day of the year here.
Holiday. Get creative.
Yeah, best day of the year.
Now, how many people are here that are supposed to be at work? Instead, called in sick.
Well, the official attendance today, 45,049. So my guess is 44,000.
That's fourth largest crowd in history here at the new ballpark. No, most people, they're just going to tell their boss.
Yeah, I guess. No! Did Aaron Hicks go? Yes, he did. Paul Emmel down at first base said he did not hold up. 2 gone.
No, we're talking about taking care of business. Try to have quick innings with your pen. 2 up, 2 away, quickly.
And we continue to see Tigers pitchers not afraid to throw that fastball up and in.
It works on a hitter's comfort zone. Keeps him diving out over that plate, reaching back. You know when you got hit, didn't you?
Oh, sure.
Those balls come in tight, quick on you.
Didn't feel good.
Yeah, you gave a little bit of ground there. You weren't as aggressive. Got a broken bat there. Get that ball in.
Austin Romine, the brother of Andrew Romine, wearing number 27.
That'd be a tough situation to be in.
Yeah, Andrew
you got to root against your brother.
Yeah, Andrew wore 27 last year too, but he gave that number up this year.
There's the older brother, Andrew Romine.
Get this guy. He can't hurt you, right? That's what he's saying to his brother.
Who's buying dinner tonight?
The winner.
Wilson ready with the 1-1. Should Romine reach, Ellsbury waiting on deck for the Yankees, who have not mustered a whole lot tonight. There you go, split screen of the brothers.
That's got to be great for the family. The dad also played in the big leagues. So you got the dad that played in the big leagues and the 2 sons that played in the big leagues. That is awfully special.
Dad would be Kevin Romine. 1-2. Justin Wilson was walking back to the dugout.
Mike Everett, where was that?
He had 8 other guys walking out the field.
Pretty close.
Fox track shows a little bit inside. Hope to get that pitch, but nevertheless. I like that double up right there.
Don't see that very often, but I have a feeling we're going to see it a lot more this year, Gibby.
Yeah, now you, as a hitter, you see the first one, you expect the next one to be away. Now when they double up, you have no clue.
And he ends up losing him. 2 on walk. Fans, don't forget to have your party at an upcoming Tigers game. Party suites and party areas are on sale now. Groups of 15 or more receive discounted tickets. Visit tigers.com/groups or call 313-471-BALL for more information.
And Joe Girardi does have quite a few bats on his bench. And Brian McCann's got some power. He's on the bench. A-Rod did not start in the game as well.
That's bench power as well. Those guys both can hit the ball out of the ballpark.
Here's Jacoby Ellsbury. Excuse me, swing ground ball.
Ellsbury's a guy pretty much 253 off lefties, 258 off righties, so he doesn't give much ground. Tigers are playing him in tight at third base, taking the bunt, making him hit his way on. give up that 5-6 hole though.
One ball, one strike. Now 2-1. Ellsbury is single in 3 at-bats in this game. One of just 2 Yankees hits. Mark Lowe now tuning up in the Detroit bullpen.
Probably have him ready for Castro.
Two and two.
Or should Girardi decide to pinch hit somewhere for Gardner, even lefty on lefty, Lowe would probably hit the righty there.
He's got Beltran. He's got A-Rod. He's got Brian McCann.
Some of those veteran guys, they don't, once they're off, they like to be off. Though, don't they? Their days off. There's a good point.
A strikeout of Ellsbury ends the inning. Justin Wilson fans a pair. Baseball is back on FS1 as Adrian Gonzalez and the Dodgers battle Buster Posey and the Giants tomorrow. It's all on America's home for baseball all season long. FS1, or watch it live on Fox Sports Go. Well, the Tigers enjoying a lead here as we go to the bottom of the 8th. 4-0 is our score. Castellanos leads it off and takes ball 1. Nick, then McCann, then Iglesias. Tigers 3 outs away from running their record to 3-0 on the new season. It'll drift down the right field line, out of play. 1-1. It's been a good day for Castellanos. 3 hits, all singles. He has scored a run. He's also made a nice defensive play down at third base. Tigers 4 runs on 12 hits. Yankees no runs, 2 hits. 1-2. Castellanos turned it on late last season, had his struggles. There were some rough patches in the middle of the year, but after August 1st, he batted .282 with 25 RBIs down the stretch.
You know, I hear a lot of conversation about, I mean, Nick, was he 23, 24 years old? He's still a young kid. He's improved, I think, tremendously at third base. He went home and tried to get more athletic in this offseason. Again, he learned some things through his first season. He had, what, 75 RBI? That's not bad for a young kid at third base. Now, how much more do you want?
He's going to hit. He's always hit every step of the way. And there's no reason to believe that he's not going to continue to mature and get better at this level.
Yeah, I don't think you can look for the perfect player. It's not many of them around, and he's right on target for me.
Well, that last one stung pretty good.
It's a double. Off the top of the foot. Then hit his chest. I think the foot one is going to hurt a little more.
For sure.
Might see him with a pad tomorrow. We'll see how much that one hurt.
You loop that one back up the middle, and Castellanos has a 4-hit day.
That's a good hit, boy. He's just really staying on that ball. Tigers have hit many breaking balls there. He's got the high leg kick, but look how the length on that. He stays down through, doesn't pull off it. Bat goes up through the middle. Guides that ball up the middle for a single.
Well, the other O-line has gotten into the game. That would be Andrew. And he'll stay in the game and play third base defensively. But a good day for Nick. 4 hits. Here's McCann.
I know Nick can't like that.
Coming out of the game?
Yeah. It's the right move to make. You know, in the words of our manager Sparky, you got to earn it, son, right? You just it really is it's a smart way to go, and he will earn it in short order.
Here's the 0-1 to McCann. That'll bounce in. 1 ball and 1 strike. James had an infield single back in the 4th inning. His only hit so far this year.
That is the 3rd 4-hit game of Castellanos' career. Very young career. I'm sure he'll have many more days like today. It's an important run out there, man. You always want to get out of grand slam distance. So if the Tigers push that one more run across the board, give them a 5-run lead going into the 9th. It's a whole lot better. Get out of grand slam distance.
1-2. Andrew Romine down there at first base. I wonder if a little part of him is thinking, man, I want to run on my brother right now.
Or maybe he says he doesn't.
Well, let's find out.
Little bragging rights.
Yeah. Slapped out of play.
You like the 1-2 count to run on? There's different thoughts on that count.
Depends on the pitcher and how many breaking balls he's thrown and what his tendencies are. I mean, there's some guys out there that once they get 2 strikes, you know they're going to throw some breaking balls. So I think in that particular situation, it's not a bad move.
That's if you can peek in. You can peek in from first base sometimes, see the catcher's signs. You can know that it's an off-speed pitch. That's one you would pick, but Sessa right there about a 1-2. That's we listened to Justin Verlander early tell us 1-4 is too much. 1-3 or under. Feels it gives James McCann a good opportunity to throw the runner out. So a little quick here for Romine to run.
Just off the outside part of the plate. 3-2.
Got to go here though. 3-2 with the lead.
Yep. And help you stay out of the double play.
Romine not running and is fouled straight back.
Remember, as a manager, you'd send a guy have 2 or 3 foul balls, and then you're thinking it's a good play, but you know, after you foul a couple off, everybody knows you're going. It's that much harder. You get bit that way. So far, Brad has decided not to do it, to play it safe.
Now McCann given time at home plate. Tigers trying to get that 5th run across. They lead 4-0 here in the bottom of the 8th inning. 2 more to go this weekend against the Yanks. Bouncing ball to third. They'll go to second, 1 relay, tough throw, and they got him at first base. What a turn down there by Castro.
I didn't think they were going to have time to turn it. Headley took a long time to get that ball to Castro.
He almost looked like he wanted to throw that ball to first base.
That's a nice slide here. I'd like to see a replay of this because all the new rules of how you slide into second base, you can still be very aggressive. Take a look at Romine. As long as you start your slide before you get to the bag, which he does, you can still make contact with that fielder. That is perfectly done there by Andrew Romine. He stays on the bag and he's still able to make some contact with him. No harm, no foul.
I was watching umpire Tim Timmons to see if he was going to signal both runners are out, but you can't do it any better.
Headley just took way too much time getting the ball to him, but he still was able to get it done.
Tigers are going to challenge this to see if McCann beat the throw at first base.
Well, you have nothing to lose here in the 8th inning. You have to use your challenge to get an umpires to get them together. Say if a play happens after this, you have to use your challenge. So
good point.
you have nothing to lose. You have another one by all means. If you lose this one.
So what you're saying is it's not an official challenge if you lose this one, but you can still get the umpires together.
Well, it's, what is it, after the 7th inning, I think,
right,
that you can ask them to look at it. So you get another challenge.
You could see that Castro, he was ready to.
He's off the bag?
Yeah, I don't know what he's arguing here.
He's arguing he wasn't on the bag.
Is that what he's doing?
The ball was not in the glove yet. He's going to be safe.
He might win it.
I thought he might have been arguing the call at first base, but yeah, I mean, that replay right there shows that he might have been off the bag.
So going back to that, you get one challenge up to the first 7 innings, right?
Correct.
If you lose that challenge, and after the 7th inning, I believe that you could go out and ask the umpire if they would take a look at it. It's not technically a challenge, but you can't ask them, so it doesn't matter. You have nothing to lose, and it looks like to me they may win this.
And more times than not in that situation, I think the umpires would take a look at that if you ask them to look at something.
They
correct?
do. Well, and that's what they're being advised to do. You know, every time they were talking about this rule, the slide rule, every time they make a new rule like this, there's always interpretation problems by whether it's the players, but the umpires as well. You don't get consistent interpretation around the league. They're doing what they're told. They give you the rules the way it's written, and you interpret it, and then they call it that way. It always takes a little bit of time. I remember way back when you remember when they made the rule about how the pitcher must stop his motion? I mean, they were calling it was ridiculous because, yeah, he's safe.
It's a good challenge there and a good call. I mean, he was clearly off the bag.
Tell you what, these replay gurus that are employed by these teams are getting pretty good at this now. Getting the information right. They know what they're looking for. They know how to operate their equipment downstairs. Get the message to Brad quickly,
and you can still tell that it's still taking some time between the shortstops and the second basemen that have done it for so long. That particular feed and play by Castro in years past, no problem, no harm, no foul. You turn it over double play, but now guys are still finding it difficult to stay on that bag. It's still something that guys are still working on.
Well, last year they had the neighborhood play. That's an out last year. It is not this year.
Here's Iglesias, 1 on, 1 out. Ball up high.
You like the rule like that, right?
Not really.
I don't.
Not really.
We just being old?
I mean, that's just it. I mean, you've seen it done one way for so long.
Popped up left side of the infield. And that's going to be Gregorius for the out, 2 gone. Here is the upcoming matchup presented by Gordon Chevrolet. CC Sabathia, who won a spot in the Yankees rotation, will go tomorrow against Mike Pelfrey. CC coming off a 6-10 campaign.
Yeah, I saw CC over in Hawaii this year. We talked about it. And this guy's turned into a different pitcher. He's got a lot of innings on his arm. Knows he has to be much more efficient with his pitches, hit his spots. But
they didn't know whether he would make the rotation or not. There were a lot of whispers that he may pitch out of the bullpen for the first time in his major league career.
I think the fact that he's been such a good veteran over the years, I think it's kind of the tiebreaker, and they give him the opportunity initially to be the 5th starter. But we could see him in the bullpen later in the year.
Ghost sends a shallow pop up into center field. That'll be caught by Ellsbury, and the side is retired. So we've played 8 complete on opening day. As we go to the 9th, the Tigers lead 4-0.
Outs away from winning their opening day here at Comerica Park, and I feel pretty good about their chances. 3-0 start. We're going to talk to Nick Castellanos, who had a 4-hit day, and how about Jordan Zimmerman? Really terrific. 7 scoreless innings in his debut in a Tigers uniform. So I'll be talking to all the guys, of course, Brad Ausmus afterward, but it should be an exciting day, an exciting Tigers Live post-game edition coming up after this one. But we'll send it back up to the 3-man booth for the final 3 outs, guys.
All right, Johnny, we look forward to it. We look forward to 3 more outs as Kyle Ryan will take over now for the Tigers here in the 9th inning.
And Kyle pitched in 16 games last year, 2 wins, 4 losses, 4.47 ERA, but really pitched well in spring training. And even if there weren't any injuries to some of the other guys in the bullpen, he had a legitimate shot of leaving town with the 25-man roster.
Andrew Romine stays in the game to play third base.
Kyle Ryan, one of the guys we were talking about earlier that got his feet wet last year, said it was kind of fast for him. Now he's went back, had a chance to regroup over the offseason, had a solid spring, much better prepared, and game is much slower for him this year.
Also with the additions of Justin Wilson and Mark Lowe and Francisco Rodriguez, it allows him to slot down a little further and used earlier in games where he wouldn't be used that way last year.
That is only the 3rd hit for the Yankees in this game. We remind you to follow the Tigers live all season long with MLB.com at bat. Stay up to the moment at any moment with the Game Day, live game video highlights, StatCast, news, and more. Download MLB.com at bat. It's the #1 app for live baseball on your phone or your tablet. Here's Starlin Castro. It was the first hit for the Yankees since a single by Teixeira in the 4th. That's how dominant Zimmerman was today.
And Ryan, when he's good, he throws lots of ground balls. That good two-seam fastball, anywhere from 88 to 90. So the double play is in order, with Castro standing in the batter's box.
Francisco Rodriguez warming up in the bullpen if needed. Get back out of play. Castro, for as hot as he was in that first series, 7 for 12 against the Astros, is 0 for 3 today, including a double play ball. Snap throw and the runner Gardner back.
Well, the Tiger pitchers, especially the left-handers, working on their moves in spring training. Kenny Rogers there for a couple weeks.
Gambler. He had a great pickoff move.
Oh, he did.
Todd Jones, former Tigers closer, also spent quite a bit of time in the minor leagues with the Tigers.
Todd Jones always likes to talk baseball history. You ever sit down? He loves it.
Does he?
Oh, man.
You know it?
Yes, he does. He wants to learn it. You might have a story, you know, he's there to listen in.
Again, Castro fights one off foul down the third base line.
You can tell the Tigers' game plan for Castro is to jam him. Kyle Ryan in the last 2 pitches. Castro's just got a piece of it, pulled it foul there at third base. Like the high fastball right down the middle of the plate, up just out of the zone. Swings right under it.
He pulls that one on the ground to third. Romine to second. There's one. Not in time. Castro beats the throw.
Yeah, we'll take another ground ball here.
Romine into the game. Ball finds you very quickly. Pretty good turnover there, but Castro runs very well.
Yeah, nice job by Ryan, just continuing to throw that ball at the bottom of the strike zone. And Kinsler using that bag to his advantage, staying behind it to make sure that Gardner, who runs well, really couldn't get to him and disrupt him from throwing that ball and trying to complete the double play.
Yeah, pre-rule change, Ian Kinsler would have been bailing out a little quicker on that.
For sure. You're going to see a lot of shortstops and second basemen staying a little bit longer than they normally would.
So you've taken away the element of not having to touch the bag so you can protect yourself, but yet the runner can't really leave the bag to come and get you any further than that.
1 ball, 1 strike on Mark Teixeira. Carlos Beltran has picked up a bat. Here's the 1-1.
Joe Girardi did something today that Brad's going to do as well this year, and that's rest Miggy on occasion, also Victor on occasion. They played a game in New York basically last night. They didn't get here until about midnight. Day game today. He gave his older players, his veteran players, the afternoon off.
Belted toward left field. Ball hit pretty well. It is hooking and going foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Teixeira. That's got to be one of the toughest things to do in all of baseball. Take Miguel Cabrera out of the lineup and sit him, but you have to do it.
What did he say? He wanted to play 155?
He said that.
See 150?
I can see 150 easy for Miggy. Victor maybe not, though. Nothing against Victor, but I just know that Brad wants to watch him very closely. And rightfully so.
Got him, strike 3.
This is just a good sinker right down low in the zone. Catches Tex looking.
Must have been guessing.
Good job by McCann again. Look at that glove. Puts it right there in the strike zone.
So Carlos Beltran will pinch hit for Dustin Ackley. .276 last year with 19 homers. And the Comerica Park crowd to its feet now, the 4th largest in Comerica Park history, 45,049. Strike one on Beltran. Kyle Ryan trying to put the finishing touches on this 9th inning.
He's thrown 14 pitches. Kyle Ryan has, and 11 of those have hit the strike zone.
Keeping it down.
Swing and a miss, 0-2.
Outstanding pitch. Great arm speed.
Been a cutter there?
No, I think it was a changeup at 82. Something off speed.
Just outside.
Like Everett thought about it, and he put his hands in his pockets.
Mike Everett's been pretty honest back there today. It's many balls that we've seen just off the plate.
Yeah, he's been good.
He tried to backdoor him with that breaking ball.
He's been consistent. Give him that.
Here's the 1-2.
So who's going to catch a ball in this booth this year?
Not me.
You're going to run?
I'm gonna get out of the way.
Yeah, you're not going to catch it?
Nope. Depends on how high.
Who's going to have an opportunity to catch it out of us three?
Mario. They always go on his side.
They do?
Yeah, and both you guys always
We
run.
call that finders, don't we?
There's strike three, got him looking.
What a day.
Beltran strikes out to end the ball game, and the Tigers put on a show here in front of a sellout crowd on opening day.
Shutout.
4-0 Detroit, 8 consecutive home opening wins. It's becoming routine. Outstanding team effort here this afternoon. And Kyle Ryan was able to shut this one down with a 9th inning and a strikeout at Beltran.
Yeah, Kyle Ryan used all of his pitches here, working both sides of the zone. They see McCann again with a quick hand, bringing that ball up, convincing Mike Everett to make the call. Puts the seal on a nice day by the Detroit Tigers for the fans. Gets us headed in the right direction for tomorrow. It's going to be another nice day. They say it's not going to be good, but I don't believe them.
Let's take a look at the big boys' big play of the game. Nick Castellanos was simply on point here today. Opening day at Comerica Park. He had 4 knocks, and he got that front leg up. He got it down. He slashed him to right. He slashed him to left. And he also made a really nice play really early in this game when he left his position and made a nice grab, left his feet. So real nice day today for the youngster, Nick Castellanos.
So not only do the Tigers go to Miami and win the first 2 of the season, they come home and they win here today. And now Johnny Kane with Nick Castellanos.
Yeah, here with the man of the hour, Nick Castellanos. First off, happy opening day. Is this what you thought about? 4-hit effort?
It made it a lot more fun, but you know, the win kind of sealed the deal for us, and we were just happy to start, you know, playing at home on a good note.
Tell me about your emotions throughout the day, because everybody's excited. There's a lot going on around it, but you got to stay focused on the game. You guys were able to do that.
We were. Everybody's having fun. Everybody's healthy right now, and as long as we keep having fun and stay healthy, it's going to be a great year.
Let me ask you about the man on the hill today for you. A new Tiger for everybody here, in Jordan Zimmerman. 7 scoreless innings he was dealing today.
He was. He battled. He challenged every hitter. He was always around the zone, and he was fun to play behind.
And what about your boy Miguel Cabrera with his first homer of the season? I saw you guys chatting it up there.
That's just Miggy being Miggy.
All right, congratulations. Keep it going.
Appreciate it.
All right, Johnny, thanks. And a great day for Castellanos. Great day for the Tigers. Miguel Cabrera homers. And all in all, a 4-0 Tigers win. We'll be back.